This video is about the repositioning of the solar panels and our haul-out progress report so far, part 40. This is my introduction to Sailing Wilson on YouTube. I own a 2013 Island Spirit catamaran, 38 foot in length, and I really love my boat. I'm sure you've heard this before, but please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and push on the notification bell. That'd help a lot. By the way, please share my videos with other people you know. While still on the hard stand at Reback, I contemplated moving the solar panels to a better place.
So you can see the original two panels and the second-hand ones I got for $15 each. They've been wired together with an extra length, and I am considering and probably will mount them on the stainless steel work slightly raised above the canvas awning between the two wind turbines to make them secure.
A major source of the water leaks on the top deck was through the foundations of the solar panels, and here you can see the foundations screwed to the panels onto the deck, and the wiring that went into the top of the deck. And I removed the solar panels, and you can see the underneath side of these panels. If you look closely, you can see the water stains where the leaks were, and here's a better idea of the corners. You can see the stains in the area I'm talking about. Here you can see that the top deck's been finished, and once we'd moved the boat from Reback Island at Hardstand to Talaga Harbour in the pond, we were able to continue with other jobs, which included repositioning and rewiring and installing the solar panels on the davit on the back of the boat. We spent a few days settling in to the Talaga Harbour pond just outside the marina. This is a view of out the front hatch or window on our yacht, and you can see one of the afternoon cruisers moving past. Sometimes they get really close, and you've got to make sure you've got your clothes on so that they don't get a bird's eye view. Every afternoon tourists hop on these boats and go cruising around the lagoon or pond, and if you see further out in the distance you might see another yacht of tourists on that. And there's only a very few yachts in this pond at the moment. The one in front of us, Osborne Star, is no one's on board that. The birds have taken up residence of an evening. They'll come in and rest on inside the canopy. This yacht is lived on by a 83-year-old man from England, and a lovely man, John, and yes, he's not moving anywhere at the moment with this COVID thing. Don't know who those people are over there, but here we are coming up to sunset in the Talaga Harbour entrance lighthouse, and you can see this large catamaran has been there for so long. 2 years ago when we came through and anchored here, it was exactly where it is now, but in much better condition, and now it's just dilapidated. The owners can't get back to Malaysia to deal with their boat, which is quite sad. In the background you'll see the fishing fleet. In the mornings half of them go out, and in the evenings the rest of them go out for squid fishing. So this is going to be difficult to video this because the sun is right in my eyes, so we'll just do a quick move around. The Party Island is in front of us, and then the other island that protects the anchorage is over there in the distance, and that's where all the yachties go for their barbecue, and the local fishermen stop there and do some maintenance and clean their fish, etc. And there's the other entrance to the Talaga Harbour goes a fisherman, and another fisherman going out. So the lights on that boat are for the squid. But here is the repaired sail bag, lazy bag, and the second-hand sail that I bought is inside. It's really nice and lightweight and much easier to raise than the old sail. And furling mechanism that's been repaired and put back in place, and the repaired Genoa head sail. So the only thing I've got to do to the mast now is to fix the mast light. Then I spent time contemplating what I already decided anyway, and that was repositioning of the panels. So here is an image of the two second-hand black solar panels connected to the old solar panels, and then rewired with proper wiring and connectors. And this is just before we're going to fit them to the davit on the back of the boat. So you can see I've removed the blue canvas canopy from the back davit, and we'll fit the solar panels to it using brackets similar to what's on the bottom of the wind turbine supports on the back of the panels, and then on the front of the panels we'll probably put some fiberglass or solid blocks and fiberglass them and screw them to the top deck of the boat. I bought the red and black properly insulated solar panel wiring and some brackets, and also the connectors from Lazada. And here are the connectors close up, male and female, and the brackets to hold the solar panels up from the davits. Use the heat shrink to protect the connectors from the weather. And here are some of the tools I use to connect the connectors to the wiring and test the wiring for conductivity. These connectors didn't come with instructions, and I quickly realised that the blue and red rubbers had nothing to do with the way things fitted together, and the only way to deal with it was to make the assumption that was red, positive, female and live. So being consistent with that idea, the wiring was male one end and female the other. Both red and black cabling were the same, and that worked out fairly well, because when I connected all the cabling, everything fell into place fairly logically. And you can see that the red and black cabling with the connections, but you'll also see these Y or splitter cables, and that's where it became important to have some continuity to make sure that you've got negative and positive connecting the correct way. And you'll see that I've written on the back of the panel, red is live, positive, and a female connector, and that worked out fairly well. Here you can see that I've put on the heat shrink for a connector that will be subject to the weather. Maybe later on I will re-thread these wiring inside the roof to get it right away from the weather. Here you can see two of the panels in place. It was quite difficult to get them to line up because of the odd shape of the davits. But you'll see that I decided on using the old brackets as a support for the back of the panels, and here they are resting on the top deck. Later on I might epoxy in some blocks and screw them brackets down onto the blocks. Here is the one mistake that I wasn't happy with. I should have reversed the panel so that the wiring was hidden between the top deck and the panels, but that's the way things are. Here you can see the brackets that fit onto the davits and then hold the solar panels in place, very similar to the cross members and supports for the wind turbine. And that worked out well, except for the curvature of the davit piping, which made lining the solar panels up slightly annoying. But here, the finished product, of the 4 solar panels lined up across the back of the davits. You can see in the middle there's a slight gap, but that's because of the curvature of the far end of the davits between the turbines. Here you can see the wiring exposed to the sun, so I'm thinking about threading it through the gap between the deck and the roof of the galley area and put an inspection hatch in so that I can make my wiring a lot easier, and I'll use one of these 7-inch inspection hatches. I'm still got to think about that. Because the 4 solar panels have created a lot of shade, I may not get another canvas canopy made up, and I've still got to organise the wiring and hide it and cable tie it in place. So that's it for the solar panels. So the video was produced by myself, and this is probably going to be the last of the haul out progress report so far videos. This one's about the solar panels, part 40.